Hi, we're at Home Daily Bible Reading for Friday, A New Vision for the People. We're still in that prophecy type zone for Sunday school. We are doing Home Daily Bible Reading Sunday, Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday you do your Sunday school. We are in Isaiah 61 on Friday, still prophesying, still Isaiah, still talking about who the Christ is. And so in chapter 60, we find that it's talking about arise, shine, for your light is come. It's prophesying about Jesus. So we go on in that same vein in verse 60, chapter 61, verses 1 through 7. And it is the same thing that we did in Luke 4. This is the scripture that Jesus literally reads from in Luke chapter 4. The Spirit of the Lord, this is Isaiah 61. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prisons to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified. And they shall build the old wastes, they shall raise up the former desolations, they shall repair the waste cities, the desolation of many generations, and strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the aliens shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. But ye shall be named the priest of the Lord. Men shall call you the ministers of our God. Ye shall eat riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall you boast yourselves. For your shame shall have double, and for your confusion they shall rejoice for their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess the double, everlasting joy shall be unto them. This is a prophecy out of the book of Isaiah, which is where we read Isaiah 61, 1 through 7. And the prophecy talks about what Jesus came to do. He is to set at liberty those that are captive. And this is not just talking about physical liberty. It's talking about spiritual liberty. It's talking about moral liberty. Set at liberty those that are captives. If you are bound by anything, we're not talking about natural things, even though it does kind of talk about natural things. But he's saying, I'm releasing you from those things that have you bound. He is the one. The Spirit of the Lord is upon Christ. Christ is the one who is doing this, a new vision for the people, because the people, one, have been bound because they are slaves. At this point, they are under someone else's rule, and then because they are slaves to the devil, the enemy, the one who has convinced them to follow after idols, who has convinced them to follow after things that are not God-like. And so he says he has sent him, he's anointed him to preach glad tidings or good tidings, meaning the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, the good news that you don't have to be bound, that you don't have to follow after these things. And so it says a new vision for the people, and it talks about, and I'm going to build up the old waste places. The scripture tells us that we're going to have a new heaven and a new earth, and old things are going to be passed away. And he says the same thing here. And then he talks about for the children of Israel, and this is specifically to the children of Israel. He talks about to the children of Israel that the strangers shall stand, or the aliens, or the people who are not God's people, are going to be the ones that feed their flocks, and they are going to plow and be their vine dressers because they grew grapes and that kind of thing. But you shall be named the priest of the Lord. So that's a prophecy for the Jews. It is also a prophecy for the Gentiles, because we say in the New Testament, it says you are a royal priesthood, you are a holy nation, because we are called unto God. And it says you should be ministers of the God, and you should eat the riches of the Gentiles, which again it's talking about the Jews and the Gentiles. The wealth of the sinner is laid up for the righteous, and in their glory shall you boast, and you shall have with your shame. They were ashamed because they were not following after God. They were ashamed because things were not going well for them. They were ashamed because the temple had been torn down. They were ashamed for a lot of reasons. And now it says, for your shame, you shall have double. So then you go to the book of Joel. He says the things that the cankerworm has eaten, God is going to return that. The caterpillar, that great army, the locust, God is going to restore those things. And you shall rejoice in your portion. Therefore, in their land, they possess the double, everlasting joy. So now it's talking about in the new kingdom, everlasting joy. So we're talking in this particular set of scriptures, both natural and spiritual at the same time. He says, everlasting joy shall be unto them. This is Isaiah 61, 1 through 7, home daily Bible reading, Friday for Sunday school, building up to that Sunday school lesson on Sunday. God bless.